facing multiple gang charges after investigators discovered guns and drugs inside his home. Here's an exclusive look at what investigators say they found at Mondo Crenshaw's home. The 31-year-old who raps under the name YSL Mondo is currently being held at the Cobb County Jail. Channel 2's Michael Seiden live in Cobb County, where the rapper is facing some serious charges.
Yeah, Justin, he's accused of strangling a woman inside a Marietta home. That happened in 2022. He was out on bond, and investigators say when he failed to show up to this courthouse for a court date, they issued a warrant for his arrest, and when the feds went after him, he's now facing even more felony charges. He's a local rapper and a convicted felon accused of strangling a woman at a Marietta home in 2022. Since then, Mondo Crenshaw, who performs under the name YSL Mondo, has been out on bond. But when he failed to show up to court earlier this year, investigators with the U.S. Marshals Task Force, Cobb County Sheriff's Office, and GBI started searching for him. They finally caught up with him last month at his DeKalb County home, where they arrested him on numerous felony charges, including 3 counts of violation of the Street Gang Terrorism and Prevention Act. Although charging documents did not identify a specific gang, multiple law enforcement sources tell Channel 2 that Crenshaw is a member of Young Slime Life, or YSL, the same alleged street gang that's been at the center of a sweeping RICO indictment charging hip-hop superstar Young Thug and his alleged associates. Now, Crenshaw is not charged in that indictment, but in the past, on his social media pages, he's talked about how he and Young Thug, whose real name is Jeffrey Williams, were both the co-founders of Young Stoner Life, a successful music label. Crenshaw now faces more than a dozen charges in DeKalb County, but first his legal team will have to address the allegations here in Cobb County. And I should make it clear, attorneys for Young Thug and his alleged associates have all denied any wrongdoing, saying they're all innocent of those charges. Now, as far as Crenshaw, reached out to his attorney, but he declined to comment, but we do know he is due back in court next month. We're live in Cobb County. Michael Seiden, Channel 2 Action News.
Oh, yo, it's Big Ant, the spokesman, man. We back. Another edition of Urban Politicians TV. UPTV, make sure you stay on your pivot at all times, man. Had to come tap in on YSL co-founder Mondo, and I had actually never heard of him before or knew that he was a YSL co-founder because he was not arrested in the RICO gang charges that YSL was picked up on last year. But once people started taking plea deals in the case, he started making all the blogs because he didn't like the decision they was making, understandably so. And then he eventually started doing interviews talking about how he was a co-founder and everything like that. Now, that doesn't mean he was a nobody or didn't have anything going on. I just hadn't heard of him before. But even in these interviews, he started revealing that the DA, Funny Willis, had represented him in court before on one of his past cases. So he said that he felt because of a conflict of interest, he was not arrested on the RICO charges and everything like that. Did a total like 4 or 5 interviews this year. And at that time, because from what the reports are saying, he was already fighting the charge of strangling this woman inside of the home. And I'm adding links in the description where you can watch that video in full from WSB TV, and I'm gonna get into a little bit of the write-up in just a second to kind of go back over everything. We're gonna have this conversation right here. The feds and the police working together once again. Why do you think it's happening that way? Because he decided not to go to court. So I say that to say this. Do y'all think that they have not watched those interviews and seen him talking about being a YSL co-founder and everything like that? Nah, you better know they did. So that's why they all gonna get involved, as we seen before, and they gonna come in and arrest him. Now, we get nothing out of kicking him while he's down. That's not productive. We just gonna raise awareness on this situation, bro. When you already fighting the case, you already got other things going on, you better go to court or things like this will happen, where they gonna bust in your spot and whatever operation you got going on, allegedly, even with him strangling the woman is still alleged, because I don't know for sure. But you're going to put yourself in hot water and everything. A lot of unneeded attention. And the write-up says this. Mondo Crenshaw, also known as YSL Mondo, is a co-founder of the YSL music crew with hip-hop superstar Young Thug. Cobb County Police say Crenshaw was arrested for strangling a woman inside of Marietta home last month. They say the 31-year-old did not show up for a court date, so federal agents with the U.S. Marshals Task Force, GBI agents, and Cobb deputies searched his home, and he's now facing more charges. Police seized drugs, cash, and at least 3 guns from Crenshaw's home. He now faces several felonies, including 3 counts of violating the Street Gang Terrorism and Prevention Act. Charging documents do not identify a specific which gang he's associated with, but multiple law enforcement sources confirmed to Channel 2 Action News that he is a member of YSL. So I say that right there, bro. YSL is a label, as they say, but they are putting it out there as a gang when they went up to arrest him. This does not help that in court. Now, true, it's not part of that indictment and everything, but we got to keep it all the way 1,000. What type of energy would one expect to go up in these interviews while you're already fighting a charge from last year and get to talking about this, calling people snitching and not standing tall, talking gang lingo and everything? It's never going to be beneficial for you, bro. And I hate to see niggas continue to do this. I don't get nothing out of making fun of you or clowning you or nothing like that. But we got to raise awareness to these conversations, bro. Somebody got to do it. Ain't nothing cool by going to jail, volunteering information about what you got going on, what you a part of online when you already fighting the case and all out on bond. And especially with everything YSL is going up against right now. You only got one time to prove your innocence when it comes to things like this, bro. The least you talk, the better. The least you put yourself in front of the camera, the better if you're going to be speaking on YSL, especially if you fighting the charge yourself. Everything you think you getting away with, they most definitely watching when you're already on their radar. It just is what it is, especially if you fighting the charge. You're out here trying to hustle, trying to make money and figure out his way. It take time sometimes. I'm going to tell you to find your exit strategy as quickly as possible, but keep the attention off yourself, man. It's a game of chess, not checkers. And guess what? It's always stacked against you to lose when you jump out there in that field and dive in that water. Stay free, bro. You got a family, your people. A lot of people in the world care about you more than you think, bro. Ain't no point in going out here giving it to them so they can come up there and arrest you and lock you back in the cage. But tell me what y'all think. We got more videos, all that, 1,000 for shit show. Stay on your pit.